Well, hello, everyone. This is Michelle Moross. And if you're wondering who in the world is Michelle and how in the world did I end up watching or listening to her podcast, well, my name is Michelle Moross. You can find me pretty much everywhere on social media, but the easiest way is to find me on my website, www.michellemoross.com. And if you can't find how to spell my name, go look at the beginning. It's written all over the beginning of the whole podcast and on every intro. Anyways, I'm an international speaker. I train speakers. I'm a coach for communication. I've written a couple of books, and I'm the host of this podcast. And I thank you for joining us today because I met this amazing woman and before the big lockdown, and I saw her come in the room and I went, dang, whatever she's doing it well. I didn't even know what she was doing. And what you'll see and what you'll hear is she portrayed exactly who she was. She's a power closer. And she calls herself, the client whisperer, because she's far more than a power closer. But when you meet her and you hear that dynamic voice, or you watch her if you're watching this, and if you're not watching, you might want to go to my YouTube page and actually watch this. Anyways, her name is Aleasha Bahr. And wow, I'm going to give you her website right now because you want to look her up. It's www, and I'm going to spell this, AleashaBahr.com. I'm saying that because once you meet her, you're going to get excited like I did, and you're going to want to know more about her. Because what she does is she shows people how to put the humanity back into their sales and make a killing while doing it. And that's what's so amazing about her, because she walks the talk. She's not someone just scripting. She does it, she is it, she lives it. So please welcome Aleasha.
Thank you so much, Michelle. That was quite an intro. I really appreciate it. I attended Michelle's speaker boot camp, and she knows what she's doing very, very well.
Well, thank you for that. No, and the thing is, I train a lot of people about how to do that stage presence, how to own a room, how to walk it. And I didn't have to train you. You did it naturally, and you're like the perfect client for me, because it's like, oh, you're already doing it. Just tweak this one a little bit. And that's why I wanted you on the podcast, because so many more people need to know what you do, that bringing the humanity back into the sales. And we talked about this briefly earlier, is that everything's a sale. Can you share us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so sometimes people say that they're bad at sales, and I typically ask them, have you sold your husband or significant other on something recently, or a friend or a family member, even if it's like going somewhere or investing in something or where to eat or what to do tonight. And those are all sales. You are thinking about what motivates that particular person. So like the challenging version of that, since we're experiencing a challenging time, is, have you ever sold a sick family member on eating chicken soup or something? Or a friend to get out after being through a devastating breakup? Mm-hmm. And the way that you position that is tailored to that person. So if you know that there's an event this weekend, then, or the next weekend that your friend really wants to go to, you're like, you have to eat the soup, or you're not going to be able to go to that event. And that's how you get them to eat the soup. Or with the friend, they just want to stop being heartbroken and find love again. And it's like, you're never going to be able to fall in love again if we don't get out. And if they like to dance, you're like, we're going to go to a dance club. If they don't like to dance, you don't mention the dancing. So it's just like that in sales. Except you're uncovering what motivates the person instead of already knowing, but everybody is selling all the time.
Yeah, and it's not manipulation. It's knowing the other person in front of you. I mean, I've done it so often with my own children. Do you want broccoli or do you want the asparagus?
Yeah.
With little trees, or make your pee smell funny? I mean, it's just some weird thing that you find about them that makes them do, oh, I wouldn't mind my pee smelling funny today. Kids are weird like that. So think about that. That's the power of Aleasha and what she brings to the table. Now, when you go to her website, I'm going to have to mention this because I don't want to forget. She has a complimentary video, right, called 6 Sneaky Sales Mistakes, right?
Yeah.
What is that? What does that entail?
Oh yeah, so it's a quick 8-minute video, and it's things that you can do right now to immediately close more business, and it's free. And we cover things like, you know, what questions to ask, like the 4 questions that you should ask, how you approach the call, your tone on the call. So a lot of people just have a tendency to get really nervous when they're about to have a conversation about sales, but it's a conversation like any other conversation. It's a conversation. If somebody comes in town and is like, where should I eat? You're like, well, what's your budget? Where are you staying? What kind of food are you in the mood for? And then you provide a recommendation. So it's really, you know, helping you shift that mindset and mind frame, and giving you some tactical tools too, like which questions.
Well, and to realize that every sales call is a conversation. It's not a pitching. And that's what, with my clients, I always tell them, do you believe in your product? If you believe in your product, if you truly believe in your product, it's not a sales call. It's sharing. It's giving them what you found so amazing about your product. So therefore, put yourself in their place, and what encouraged you to do whatever you joined to even sell it, you know? So like in your case, you know, you're into the people and marketing business. I wouldn't go up to you and start talking about the mechanics of, I don't know, the driving to an appointment. I would talk to you about the people and the engagement and the importance of that. That is what your trigger would be. And, you know, my husband, he's, you know, more technical minded. I wouldn't tell him about the people because they don't want to care about the people. Just like
Yeah.
you said, you know, they don't want to dance, don't mention the dancing.
Yeah.
You talk about the mechanical part, whatever you feel on them. And that's why it's good to know who you're talking to. Research a little bit. Don't go completely blind. I mean, even when you're doing cold calls, you kind of know who. We have
Right.
social media. You can look them up.
Yeah.
Right?
It's true. And it's so important to just like the time when you will do the best on a sales call is when you completely remove yourself out of your head and focus entirely on the other person. So instead of thinking about your bills or how much you need the sale or how this person might reject you or whatever, instead you just focus entirely on the other person and what they are going through and what they want. And if it makes sense, if it's something you can help them with, then you owe it to them to share that with them, because the truth is they might end up working with somebody who doesn't deliver as well as you, and they'll be scammed out of money because and that's like something that's something you can save them from. So it's really a disservice not to tell people if you believe in what you do and if what you do is quality.
Exactly. Be your brand. I don't care what it is, be it and own it. Because if you truly didn't believe in it, why are you doing it? Right? And what Aleasha just said is one of the things we train at the boot camps, at the speaker boot camp, is it's not about you. Get out of your own head. It's all about them. How can you serve them? How can you answer their questions that they have or solve their problem? And if you have that piece, great. And if you don't, the other way you can serve them is know whoever you can send them to. Because what happens about that is if you can't serve them, they're going to say, you didn't serve me, but you gave me this. But I know someone who will work perfectly for you and with you. And it comes back around. So don't think of it as a sale walking out a door. It's a door that just opened wide open. You were looking at one person. By helping them with whatever their problem is, you've now helped everybody else in their circle because they're going to remember you.
Yeah, I always want to leave somebody with some sort of value. Like if they can't work with me because of whatever reason, if I can refer them to, I want them to have a solution. There's nothing worse than just being like, oh, well, sorry, that problem's rough and nothing I can do to help you.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, that's just a bad feeling for both people. It's nice to say, oh, well, I can introduce you to this person, or I have this free thing that will help you, or there's this low ticket thing that will get you where you need to go in the meantime, something like that. And people remember that you really cared to help them with whatever challenge they were experiencing.
Well, I'm glad you said that because I want to mention that also. Aleasha's got this group coaching going on right now, and I didn't want to mention it because it's ridiculously low priced, and it's way too low. And then she's like, "Well, and you know, you can cancel at any time. It's not a big deal. I mean, if I'm not serving you, you can move on." And I'm like, "You need to raise that price." But no, it's not very high. I want you to contact her. So go to AleashaBahr.com because her group coaching is ridiculous. I mean, really, that's 2 trips to, I don't know, Chick-fil-A.
Well, it's 47 a month. Yeah.
So,
So
yeah. So what? 4 trips to Chick-fil-A.
yeah. And everybody, I mean, one sale, you've obviously like 20 times your ROI, and everyone who's joined has increased their sales.
See, that's just a great track record. And if you're not watching, come over here and look, go to YouTube, watch this thing, because Aleasha's got this amazing smile. She's just got this power about her. And that's what she's sharing. She's sharing how she connects with other people. It's a gift, but it's a gift that can be developed.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to ask you a whole nother question now.
Okay.
What brought you into this world? What brought you into this, marketing to people? I mean, sharing people. What is this? How did you get into this, power closer stuff?
Yeah. So I started selling digital marketing for a big national company called Cox Media.
Oh, remember that.
Yeah. And if you've ever worked for any kind of corporation, you've probably experienced them not delivering on promises. And at a point, it just got kind of embarrassing with my clients. So I decided to open my own digital marketing agency. And it was very successful for 3 years. I scaled it to the point where I then needed to hire people, which is like a whole nother thing. And then I was like working all the time. So I was like, I dissolved my agency and I missed sales because I did my own sales for my agency, but obviously like my bandwidth was limited to me. So I didn't do that much sales and I missed it. And I also had this idea that there's a lot of people that offer a really wonderful service or product, but don't know how to sell it. So I decided to do sales and marketing coaching, basically, because they usually don't talk to each other is the other issue. And sales is the front lines of your marketing. They can tell you trends in your audience and challenges that you can create content around, and all kinds of important intel that should be reflected to get a better quality lead, basically.
Well, my question to you then, the other question is, with your client base now, do you work more with corporations that are looking for a boost or small businesses or entrepreneurs, or does it mix around?
It mixes around, but they're generally small businesses and solopreneurs. Like people that I do work with some sales teams, but most of them are people that want to really master selling their own stuff.
Okay. Now, because I was curious, it's like, if you're a part of a bigger group and your paycheck counted on how well you sold that product, a little gift to yourself would be a $47 a month thing that you can boost your sales. Because the world has altered for all of us right now. And if you're still in a job, great, but you're going to want to be one of the ones that shine through this time period. And if you aren't in a job right now, you're going to want to be able to sell yourself really well when you come out the other end, because they're going to be looking for quality to build quickly on businesses that have been floundering for the past month or so.
Yeah. And a lot of that is the marketing strategy too, like getting in front of people so that when they look at you, your messaging and what you've been sharing resonates with all of them on a deep level. So they want to work with you. It's attraction marketing, and it's my favorite. Like, nobody ends up contacting me that is not a fit for me.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that I just loved about you when I met you was you are.
Yeah. I can't
explain any better.
So,
you are.
I know what you mean, actually. And it is a big part of sales too, is like being authentic, and marketing for that matter. So like brands, it used to be all about like a logo and like this like mission statement. And if you seemed like a real person, you were like unprofessional and not legit. But now everybody's tired of this corporate brand that is not real. Like the more conversational and real you are and authentic, people appreciate, it's like a relief. They're like, oh, this person's not going to scam me. This is somebody who is going to follow up and be there with me every step of the way, as opposed to like a logo and a script.
Exactly. It's like, I'm so glad the world shifted, because whew, that's how I work.
I know.
I'm me. I don't have a logo. I am me. I am my logo.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, man, I don't like the whole scripty stuff. It's not me. And so, yeah, that's why when I heard you say that, I'm like, hey, I'm doing okay.
Perfect. Yeah, no, you're perfect, Michelle. Everybody wants to feel like there is something that they can relate to about you, and something within you that resonates with them. And the people that don't aren't a fit. So it's kind of perfect, because you don't want to work with anyone who doesn't agree or relate or have some,
Yeah. Yeah, she's too mushy, or she's too strict, or she's like always happy. Well, then you don't want to be around me, because I tend to find always look at the bright side of life.
Yeah.
I'm always seeing the good. Now, oh gosh, Aleasha, I don't know what else to ask you, because I want to just smile at you. You mess me up, because that's what I do. I just do.
Yeah. Well, I can talk a little bit about these, challenging times, basically. Do you want to? No? Okay.
I don't want to talk about the challenging times, because my philosophy is I'm a big person on manifestation, and
Yeah.
my business partner Gary Barnes says no try. Well, my thing is, I don't believe in trying either. Do or do not. So, in the word that everyone in media says, these are trying times.
Right.
I say these are trying times.
Yeah.
With that slight inflection, it goes from being, oh no, this is bad, to this is an opportunity to do things that I didn't know if I could or not. This is an opportunity to shift something I've always wanted to shift, but I've been moving so fast I haven't been able to shift. So instead of these being trying times, these are trying times. Let's go out and do something new. Let's go, I don't know, do what you always wanted to and been afraid to do.
There. Well, I think that it's like a wonderful time of opportunity, especially for anybody online. So there are silver linings to this, and there are people that are coming out on top, and there are people that are going to come out on top based on their mindset throughout it. So I could not agree more about mindset. I did a bunch of posts about mental strength recently, actually, and how I found that that's the main indicator of success, because how many brilliant, talented people do you know that are actually not successful in almost every aspect of their life? And it's so much tied to their mental strength. They get knocked down by one thing, or they let their thoughts consume them. They're like at the mercy of their minds, basically. And there are very average people who are thriving because their mental strength is like Buddha.
Mm-hmm. Something about resilience. Now's the time to be building it. For those of you who are looking and watching other people doing, I wish I could do that. I mean, they're just so, now's the time to be practicing that. Now is the time to be growing that. And for those of you who are like, yeah, I don't really like the social thing, this is perfect. It's all digital.
I know.
You can easily mute, cover faces. You can do anything you want at this point. You can control a crowd.
Yeah.
This is ideal marketing time, because now you can start, what I've been encouraging people, especially the ones who aren't very outgoing and don't like networking and stuff. I do every card you've picked up in every networking group you've ever been in that you've never wanted to go actually meet them for coffee because you don't really like one-on-one talks. Call them and make a Zoom call or whatever, go Teams, whatever you want to do. Get a visual call in and say, let's meet for coffee virtually. Now this way, you can still be the introvert who really doesn't want to be out there. Mm-hmm. Still meet the person one-on-one without the crowds. Now is the time. Use this. And if you're a crazy socialite who likes multiple people around you and always talking, have 20 people, invite 10 people from your networking group, whatever you went to, invite them all and you all meet each other all at once. Have your own virtual meetings.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty incredible that, businesses have to adapt to doing things virtually, and that is going to carry, there's been a lot of resistance to that and they finally had to do it. And I would bet money it is going to carry forward, because nobody cares about anything except results. As long as you're getting the result you want, who cares if it's virtual or in person, which is also the same about sales, honestly. Like, anytime you're talking to somebody, just focus on the results, because that's all that they care about. And everything connects back to the end result that somebody wants. So a lot of people get lost in like the how of things, how you get there and what we're going to do. But really, it's like, we've got a plan for you to get here. And that's what's important. And that's always what should be important. Whenever I was in sales jobs, it was like, why do you care if I'm at the office? If I'm making sales, who cares?
I just thought of an acronym for SAIL.
Yeah, what is it?
Sharing all you love and enjoy.
Wait, SAIL. Oh yeah, sharing all you love and enjoy. Yeah,
Because
I like that.
Yeah.
What I like about that is the passion behind it. So one of the things that I always say is you actually only need 3 things to be really great at sales. One is passion. If you're excited, the other person is excited too. And a lot of that comes from like, people like to dig into the pain, and I like to sell on hope. So like, how exciting it is that you're going to get here. It's going to feel amazing. The second is curiosity. So that happens a lot when you're able to get out of your head. You can be genuinely curious and have each question lead to the other, because it's what you would naturally ask. You really want to know based on your experience. You're an expert in whatever you do, so you actually do know the questions to ask. And if you just let yourself really dig into what's going on, that curiosity will make the other person feel like you really care and you're like really trying to uncover it. And then the third is empathy. If you can understand where someone's coming from, then you know where they need to go, which is why asking like what their experience has been with other things they've tried is so important to how you continue the conversation moving forward. Because if they tried, like, for example, sales training that had a script that never worked and they felt like a robot, then you can focus on how you really need something that's more of a framework and not a script, so you don't sound like a robot. It's so important. And being able to empathize and say that's such a bad feeling when you feel like you're being inauthentic to yourself and you want to talk to this person like a real person, but you're holding yourself back from doing it because some guru told you that this script is what closes 7 figures if you follow it to a T. And so you just keep doing it, even though you keep like not closing anything. And that, when you're able to empathize on that level, the other person feels very understood. And most people feel, if you understand me, then you can help me. If you understand my problem, then you can help me fix it.
Yes, solve the issue. You just had me flash back to, no joke, I made it in telemarketing for 1 week.
Yeah, telemarketing.
College. I was in college. Nebraska is known for all the telemarketing out there, and they would hand you a script, and you had to get through that script as fast as you could. It doesn't matter what the script. And I remember thinking, I can't do this. This is definitely not my world, because you could hear the other person's intonation. You could hear what they were doing, and I had to robot it out. And I went, whatever I do in my world, in my life, in my job, whatever I do as a grown-up, I'm never doing this, because it was horrid. It was horrid to be locked.
It feels so awful. Yeah. And honestly, Michelle, you are amazing with tone. So like when she works with speakers, like tone makes a huge difference. And it also does on sales calls, primarily listening for somebody else's tone and being able to comment on, oh, so it sounds like there's some hesitation there. Like, what's that about? So you can kind of dig into it deeper instead of like glossing over it. So tone is like, how many arguments and fights have happened between 2 significant others over tone alone?
Tone is huge. Body language is huge, but tone, my goodness. My philosophy is you must learn tone. And that's why I tell people, sing, listen to things. Go watch comedians. You've got to listen to tones and inflection and hear the differences, because if you're not talking, let's say you're in a really bad mood. If I can hear that in your tone, don't go where you're going. You know what I mean? You can tell when is a good time and when, I didn't have any other time to do it. Well, if they're in a bad mood and you can hear it, find another time, you know, and it just made sense to me. And I have a family of 6. I'm from 6 kids in my family. So I got really good at, you know, hearing from across the room if mom or dad were having a bad day or a good day, or if
Yeah.
one of my siblings had done something earlier that I didn't want to cross onto that path. So I got really good at that. And so what I tell people is, you may say, I don't know how to do that. I can't read people like that. That's for you and Aleasha to do. No, you've done it all your life. You've heard your
Yeah.
boss walk down the hallway. You can tell by the way they walk or the way their voice is carrying through a wall. You know intonation. You can tell if a child is upset or happy by the tone of their laughter or of their crying. If they're really upset or they're just kind of not all, they're just hungry. So
Right.
we're trained for that kind of stuff, but we don't pay attention. We don't apply it into our work. And that's what I train is, you've already been there, done that. You just haven't flipped the switch to realize it's already happened. You just need to apply it now to a new section of your life. So that's kind of my big thing. Now I have to go back to what you said earlier, because we don't have much more time. But about everyone going digital and how that whole resistance, and now with the quarantine
Yeah.
and all of this stuff, I see a shift in the world. I see a heck of a lot more online work going on, a lot less people on the road working 9 to 5. It's not going to
Yeah.
happen anymore, because now we know it's not necessary.
It's possible to get the same results not in an office together.
There are going to be a lot of empty buildings, but the jobs will still happen.
And it'll be better on the earth. And it'll be better on all of us. Like the mental toll that
level. Yeah.
Commuting, yeah, is rough.
And you live in Denver, so 10 miles takes what, 3 hours?
So people say that about Denver, but I got to tell you, Houston and Austin are a lot worse.
Oh no, Houston, Austin, and LA are just, oh goodness.
It's really any time of day, it's a parking lot.
But still, it's that it'll be a shift in mentality of what's really important and where's the money being wasted. I mean, the gas alone of us running back and forth on a job we can do from a computer. I mean, people have gotten very innovative, and I'm saddened by the people who are getting the disease and dying and things like that and getting sick.
Of course.
But the shift in the world that will happen across the world. I mean, have you seen those pictures of the pollution that's gone down and all this stuff? And it's like, wow, good things come from bad things.
I heard this really interesting quote that was like, this is Earth letting us know that she does not need us to live and we are her guests.
Ooh, I like that. And I've been saying, the universe is like a genie and you are Aladdin. For all those days you said, I don't have time for, I wish I could this, I hate my job, I wish, the universe said, as you wish, and unplugged us all and said, now figure it out. And when you figure it out, I'll plug you back in. And right now we are all a computer that's been unplugged to be reset. Decide where you want to be when the universe plugs us back in, and start, fixing what you want, arrange it. Make a plan, have a goal, shift, and make all the little steps you need to do to make it happen.
And also, like, I think that some people are experiencing pressure from goals. So also just try to like enjoy it, like read and watch interesting shows and or sleep. My God, sleeping is something that we've all been wishing. Yeah, we've all been wishing we could sleep more, so.
And with me, I've always wanted to learn French and the guitar, and I haven't ever had the time to do it. And now I'm learning French. When I come out of this, I'm going to be speaking French. I'm telling you, I am.
That's amazing. A guitar, I've always wanted to learn too.
It hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts.
That has been a deterrent also.
So that's what I'm doing. How do I play the guitar without messing up my fingers anymore? But, and the other thing is, breathe. Find the good in all of this. And it's all a marketing ploy. So at this point, market to yourself. How do you sell yourself on being stuck in your domicile? Are you stuck, or are you safe in your domicile? And think of all the wonderful things you could do in your domicile. Why did you choose that place? And what do you like about it? I mean, sell yourself on what share with yourself what you all the things you love and enjoy about what you are in your environment. Like my new acronyms for sale.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Tying it back, bringing it back.
I did. Now, and I completely forgot to mention, we've been talking to Aleasha Bahr. And if you're interested, she's got this great video on 6 sneaky sales mistakes that on her website, and that's aleashabahr.com. That's ALEASHABAHR.com. And then she also has this group coaching going on right now. It's only $47 a month. I still think she needs to raise the price, but you know, she's a nice person like that. But you will get results, okay? When you've heard her on the show, you if you really want to, you should watch her on the show. Go to my YouTube page, watch it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. There's this energy emitting off of her, and I'm not being woo-woo. There's just something about her. She knows what she's talking about. I've been to one of her networking things where she has people come out and talk, and she's just this really cool lady. And I encourage you to engage with her so that you can also learn this craft, this gift of not selling, but speaking humanity back into the sales force, basically. It's what we do every day, but you can do it with far more ease if you have a mentor, a guide, a coach, someone who can put it in simple language for you so that you stop putting in your head, I've got to sell, and this is horrible, and this is, I've got to do this, to oh great, I get to meet another person and learn more about them, and how can I serve them.
Yeah, exactly. It can be very fun. People are funny.
People are funny. And
everybody's awesome. Yeah, everyone's got a story. I love a good character. Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure our time is up because I lost track of time, because I told you, I'm looking at you and I'm smiling, you've distracted me. And thank you so much for coming on, because the world needs more people like you. In the world, especially right now where everyone's kind of stressed out anyways, they all need a better way to communicate, connect, and solve each other's problems and issues, and whatever it may be your business may be in, they need you. And that's why I wanted you on the show. The timing was perfect for you to be here with me.
Thank you so much for having me, Michelle. It's been a pleasure, and I can't wait to see you in the flesh again.
I know. We got a boot camp coming up. Hopefully we can meet in person. But yeah. Thank you. And you know, for those of you who are watching right now or listening, share this, because someone in your circle is having heartache about selling or going back to the workforce and finding a whole new job. What Aleasha will train and help you with is to learn how to sell without selling.
Yeah, authentically. It feels natural, enjoyable, pleasant.
Conversation.
Yeah.
And solving other people's issues. Like you needing a job and they really needing you because you're the perfect fit. That's where I'm going, because this quarantine's going to end and we're going to all go out looking for jobs. So that being said, please share this podcast with your friends, on your social media, whatever, because people need to hear this and they do need to connect with an awesome human like Aleasha. So please share, click, subscribe, whatever you want to do, and connect with Aleasha Bahr, and have a fabulous week. Be the best version of you, and remember, you got this. Have a great week, and bye.
Bye.